Sergeant Bloom. I appreciate you. Good morning, everybody. It's wonderful to be here. I'm so excited that we all get to go out and get to hold up our signs and remind people to always stop on red. There's such an important part of what we do each and every day. During National Stop on Red Week, it's a great time to remind people that red light running is reckless, it's dangerous, and it changes lives each and every day. So thank you all for being committed to zero fatalities and zero serious injuries on our roadways. As many of you know, the focus of Target Zero is that it builds upon the Vision Zero belief by focusing and influencing dangerous driver behavior before they begin. We want to make sure that we can mitigate those deaths and those serious injuries. So why are we here today? We're here to educate, encourage, and empower all road users to make simple decision by simply stopping on red so that we can simply save lives. The unthinkable happened to my family. A red light runner altered the way that our family would look like. This was my husband, Mark Wandel. On October 24th of 2003, we were 9 months pregnant. We'd been married a year and 5 days. He and my brother left to go get a simple bite to eat. On their way home, just a mile from our home, on a Friday night, a little after 9 o'clock, a motorist made the decision to run the red light. The light had been red for a half a mile. When my brother was the driver, my husband was the passenger. My brother stopped at the red light. He turned left to proceed through the intersection when the motorist ran through it, and the only thing that stopped my brother and another van was that vehicle. Unfortunately, my husband lost his life right there on impact. 2 weeks later, our beautiful little girl was born, Madison Grace. When I was at the scene, a scene that you never want to see, a scene that unfortunately Sergeant Bloom and all of his local law enforcement have to see all the time, is the fact that they have to go over and over and over and go to these people with someone like me, 9 months pregnant, where they have to come up to me and say, your husband is no longer with us. And to have that, to carry that they carry with them each and every day, let's help law enforcement. Let's help them not to have to come to somebody like me that is 9 months pregnant, right? With their child and say, your life has changed without a moment's notice. Together we can get to zero, and together we can save lives, and together we can drive down heartache. I look at the 104 people that were killed in the state of Florida in 2021 by a red light runner, and I look at their lives, and I know I have a good, healthy life, and I know what I go through every single solitary day. But I don't know what is unimaginable for those other 104 people that had children, that had family that loved them, had friends that counted on them, had businesses that they ran, that we need to make sure at the end of the day that we're taking care of them. My brother is 50 years old. He walks with a cane. He's emotionally debilitated. His life will never be the same. He cannot get out of his house almost every day. The domino effect of this crash has been so impactful in our lives. I wanted to find a way to make a difference, to retrain people's brains on how to stop again. This motorist that caused this crash had 10 points on her license, 7 previous violations. Her last offense was for running a red light and being ticketed for it. She got a $500 fine and community service. The unfortunate part is, did you learn your lesson? You don't even want a violator to have to learn their lesson by taking somebody else's life, because I can't imagine the cross that they have to bear for the rest of their lives. So I started working with law enforcement, representatives, senators, to pass a bill, the Mark Wandel Traffic Safety Act in the state of Florida, that would allow red light safety cameras at the most dangerous intersections. Those are in my husband's name. We fear accountability, and that's why people do not like the red light safety cameras, because they think that they're an infringement upon their their rights. But you know what? At the end of the day, when you are breaking a safety law and going through a red light, you're infringing upon somebody else's right. My daughter didn't have the right to have her dad. She had the right to have it, but somebody took that right away from her. So whenever you see a red light camera or somebody doesn't like a red light camera, just remind them of this face right here. Remind us of this little girl who's now 19 years old. She has no idea who her father is. No matter what we do each and every day to give her those of who he was, she doesn't know him, and she never will. We want to make sure that people understand that red light safety cameras, when working with law enforcement, education, advocacy, and engineering, they get to help us get to zero. And at the end of the day, that's what we need to do. So during National Stop on Red Week and every week, share your stories. If you know somebody that was in a red light running crash, you know what? Tell that story. Make sure that the more people that know it, the more people that are going to understand that it can happen to anybody in a moment. We always talk about oopsies, right? That could have changed your life in a second, you and your wife. You know what? We don't want those. We don't want to hear about those near misses, because at the end of the day, the next one is going to be Mark Wandel. And we do not want the Mark Wandels and the Phil Wolfs of this, of our world to have to go through what our family is going through. So we have to remember during National Stop on Red Week and every week to always stop on red, because we need to remind people that the life you save could be the one that you love the most. So with the Florida Department of Transportation, the National Coalition for Safer Roads, and all these great organizations that are here today, we are serious about getting to zero. We are serious about saving lives. It's not a catchphrase. We want to save lives. We want to save that one life. So together, we will get to zero, and together, we will drive down insatiable heartache on this roadway, on our roadways. And it starts here today, out there. What all of you are doing today is saving lives. Each and every day, we have people that do it. You are doing it today. You go out, you remind that motorist to stop behind that white line. You wave to that pedestrian that's not using that crosswalk. You remind that bicyclist they are a motorist. They would be best served to wear that helmet and to obey the rules of the road. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing. I'm so incredibly grateful that you're all here today. It's a hot day, and so grateful that you're out here. But we have a really cold treat, because Ice Drayton is here to give everybody a cold treat. So make sure, whether it's now or at the end of your shift, make sure you come see this gentle Dominic. He's an amazing man that gives back all the time. Go out and see him and get a cold treat. So thank you so much. Thank you.